So, what are we going to learn today? I have sent a message mentioning what are the things that we are going to cover in the class today. So, let me take your bag out and make sure that we only talk when it's needed. Otherwise, what happens is we will just keep on talking without any benefit. Okay. So we will talk about a couple of things. We talked about simple multiplication yesterday. We looked at multiplying multiple digits. But there is a property. There are a couple of properties that you need to understand. One is called distributive property and second one is called cumulative property. And those are used for multiplication. And you will not find anything very different about it. It's just another way of thinking about multiplication. Okay? So we'll talk about that. Then we'll talk about what we mean by or how do we understand fractions, factors, multiples and different patterns. Is that okay? Okay. So first of all, what do we mean by distributive property? Anybody, any guess? Okay. Any other example? Can anybody explain me? Think, be clear, then talk. That is where you will see the power of what you say. Anybody? Does anybody remember what is distributive property? No? Do you remember?
It's like algebra thinking.
Now don't go way too far. The answer has to be yes or no. Do you remember or you don't?
No.
It's okay. If you don't remember, that's fine. Perfectly fine. Okay. So now, hello Sukeshwar. The question that I was asking all the kids was, does anybody remember what is a distributive property? Do you know, Sukeshwar, what is distributive property? What is that? Can you be little louder so that I can follow you better? You will have to literally shout so that I can hear it better. Okay. Did anybody follow it? Okay. Now let's go to. Okay. So I think Simplify, you are clear about what is distributive property, and I will try putting that in a much more simpler way, and then see what does it mean to everybody. So when we talk about distributive property, what are we saying? We are trying to distribute something. We are trying to break something. We are trying to split something. Distributive. You are distributing. Let's say I have 5 t-shirts and I want to distribute it among 5 kids. What will I do? I'll give one to everybody. That is called distribution, correct?
Yeah.
Now, we will relate the similar concept in Rudraj. So, remember one thing. When I am talking, I would not want somebody to keep on making sound or keep saying something in between, because that disrupts my chain of thought. Okay? So don't do that. Now, Nihit, don't do that. Okay? That creates disturbance as well. Everybody will start looking at your cap, your hat, your glasses, and that is not good for any of us. Okay, let's not do that. Now, here when we talk about distribution means splitting something, distributing something. So when we talk about distributive property, we are distributing again. So let's see, if I have 10 into 5, and if you guys remember how you all learned multiplication, you would have learned like this. Oh, 10 into 5 meaning, let's say if I have 10 coins, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I have 5 rows of that. So this is how you would have learned multiplication. Hello Rania, Aditya. Turn on the video as well. So we are talking about distributive and cumulative properties, okay, of multiplication. And when we say distributive property, before we go that far, what I'm going to say is when you learn 10 into 5, here it does. What you learn is it's like, okay, 10 coins and 5 rows. So I have one row with 10 coins, second row with 10 coins, third row with 10 coins, fourth row with 10 coins, fifth row with 10 coins. Or I can say 10 columns, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10 columns, every column having 5 coins. Correct? That is how it is written, 10 into 5. Right? Is that making sense, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, I'm saying, okay, fine. I want to distribute it. I want to break it. I will give half of the coins to Ananya and half the coin to Sanvi. Or maybe on that day I am giving more to Ananya, less to Sanvi. I mean, just making it up, okay? I have no bias. I'm saying, okay, fine. Out of the 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 columns of coins I have, I will probably give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns to Ananya and 4 columns to Sanvi. What I'm doing? I'm distributing these coins. I gave 6 columns to Ananya, meaning 6 columns. 6 columns, every column having 5 coins. That went to Ananya. And remaining 4 columns I gave to Sanvi. So Ananya got 6 into 5, Sanvi got 4 into 5. What did I do? I had 10 into 5, like this much, from here to here or here. I gave to Ananya 6 columns, every column having 5 coins, went to Ananya, and these 4 columns went to Sanvi. What did I do? 10 into 5, I split into 6 into 5 and 4 into 5. That is distribution. Let's say I said, okay, fine, Ananya and Sanvi had fun. This time distributing it between Sivakesava and let's say Riyaz. So Sivakesava got 7 columns. So here 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sivakesava got 7 columns of coins and these 3 columns, but Riyaz got the remaining 3 columns. Meaning, I said 7 columns to Sivakesava and 3 columns to Riyaz. What did I do? I had 10 into 5, I split that to 7 into 5 and 3 into 5. Let's say, I'm saying, okay, fine, other kids are feeling bad, I'm not giving anything to them. This time I will distribute it further. And now, so far, let's say, Aditi did not get anything, Nehal did not get anything, neither got Ashar nor Rudraj. Okay, 2 columns to Rudraj, then next 3 columns to Ashar, then Aditi, okay, 3 more columns for Aditi, and then Nehal, okay, Nehal also gets 2 columns. What did I do? So 2 columns for Rudraj. So 2 columns, every column having 5 was given to Rudraj. This many columns. Then 3 columns to Ashar. So 3 columns and every column having 5 coins. That went to Ashar. Then, okay, Aditi got 3 columns as well. So 3 columns, every column having 5 points. And then these 2 columns went to Nihil, and 2 columns, and every column having 5 points. What did I do? 10 into 5 columns that I had, I split that to 2 into 5, 3 into 5, plus 3 into 5, and 2 into 5. So what you are seeing here is this. Now let's look at the same example for a little bit. 10 into 5, this I split into 2 into 5 for Rudraj, 3 into 5 for Ashar, 3 into 5 for Aditi, and 2 into 5 for Nihil. So see, this 5 remains same. 2 plus 3, 5 plus 3, 8 plus 2, 10. This is where you are actually distributing the multiplication. So let's say if it was only, like I said, Santi and who was the first person? Ananya. So 6 columns to Santi, so Ananya, and 4 columns to Santi. Second situation I said, okay, 7 columns to Shivakeswa and 3 columns to Riyaz. What am I doing right now? This 10, I'm distributing. Every column is same. I'm just saying, okay, out of 10 columns, how am I splitting? 6 and 4, 7 and 3, and so third case I said 2 into 5, 3 into 5, 3 into 5, 2 into 5. So this 10 got split into 2 plus 3, 5 plus 3, 8 plus 2, 10. This is called distributive property. Now you look at it mathematically and then you will see what I'm saying right now. 10 into 5, let's say I'm talking about the first situation. It is, one was 6 into 5, that was Aranya, and second one was 4 into 5, Sanvi. See, I can also say this 6 plus 4 into 5. Huh? What is that?
The bottom one is confusing.
What is confusing? I said 10 is nothing but 6 plus 4, that's it.
So only took the 6 and 4.
Yeah. If I have 10, let's say today I'm distributing this between, let's say Ashar and Nihit. Okay? And Nihit says, no, last time you gave me very little, give me more this time. I'll say, okay, fine. Out of 10 columns, I'll give you 8 columns. Okay, so 8 columns goes to Nihit and remaining 2 goes to Ashar. Okay. See, this 10, I split this into 8 plus 2, that's it. Look at this story. 10 plus 5, 10 into 5 is equal to this 10, I am putting in a bracket and say, okay, that is nothing but 8 plus 2.
But it's so.
Hello, Naita. Can you hear me okay, beta? Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. So right now we are talking about distributive property of multiplication. So I'm just checking if everybody knows about distributive property. Are you aware of what is a distributive property, Naita? Yeah, okay. So it will be more like a recap for you. Don't worry about it. So, what I'm saying is, a distributive property is a way to distribute your values that you are trying to multiply. You are trying to multiply 10 into 5, you can say, okay, this will be 6 plus 4 into 5. I'm just distributing 10 into 2 parts. Okay? Which is equal to 6 into 5 plus 4 into 5. I just split. Look at this. This is 10 columns. Every column having 5 points, like I was saying. So you are just splitting this into 2 parts. Okay. If let's say I have to multiply 20 into 8, can I say this is 20? Okay, 20. Can I make 15 plus 5 as 20, and then this into 8? It's okay, right? Everybody? And Anita also okay? Nate okay? Ashar, yeah. 100%. Okay. So, now you will tell me why it is important, why do we even need to talk about distributive property? How does it actually help? Right? Can somebody explain me why do you need to use distributive property? Anahita, since you know about it, can you explain that to me and the kids here? Why it is important for us to know distributive property? How does it help?
To make the problem easier.
Okay. Okay. That's one explanation. Anybody else? Siva Kesava, Nihil, Sanvi, anybody? Aditi? No? You guys have to learn the art of telling stories, okay? When you tell stories with a lot of, what do you call, confidence, that will make people very convinced about what you understand. Let's look at it. Like what Anahita explained, right? She said that distributive property makes things easier. Now let's look at it. If I'm saying 15 into 5, some of you know the table of 15, you can do it and say 15 times 5 is 75. But not everybody has learned table till 15, correct? Not everybody has learned this, right? So, we will use distributive property for doing this. Why? We can say 50 is nothing but 10 into 5. Sorry, 10 plus 5. This is 15. So, I just split 15 as 10 plus 5. So, 15 to 5 is nothing but 10 plus 5 into 5. Or I can say 10 into 5 plus 5 into 5. Now see, even if you did not know the table of 15, everybody knows 10 times 5 is 50. 5 times 5 is 25. You can add them now. Adding 50 and 25 is 75. Does it make sense, Anahita? Aditya? Aditi? Asher? Yes. So, see, that is the main purpose. Any formula, any concept that we learn, you have to challenge yourself and challenge your teacher. Let's say tomorrow if I say, okay fine, I will teach something, a new concept. The first thing that should come to your mind is, why am I learning this? How would this help? I'm sorry? See, now you don't have the option of asking this question because I explained this. Distributive property makes or helps you do a more complex calculation in a much easier way. Let me give you guys an example. Let's say, if I say multiply 121 with 8. Yeah? I know you guys can multiply this. Okay? But I will use distributive property for solving this problem. Is that okay, guys?
Yes.
How? Now 121, I can say it is 100 plus 20 plus 1. That makes it 121, right?
Yeah.
So 121 I have split into 100 plus 20 plus 1. Or I can even make it much easier. 100 plus 10 plus another 10. Let me write it clearly. 100 plus 10 plus 10 plus 1. This became 121. Yeah? And then into 8. So 121 into 8, what did I do? I split 121 into the simplest form that I could think of. Yeah? Make sense, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Sanvi with me? Rehan? Rehan with me? Riyams, not Rehan. Sorry. Okay. So now I have split this into 121. I broke this into this many parts. So what I'm going to do is, now I will use distributive property, right? I mean, I have to split this. So this becomes 100 into 8 plus 10 into 8 plus, let me put them in brackets so that you guys don't get confused. Again 10 into 8 plus 1 into 8. So when I have to multiply this thing, I could just break this into smaller pieces, and now you see 100 into 8. Everybody knows how much is that?
100 into 800.
800. 10 into 8 is how much?
80.
Again, 10 into 8 is how much? 80. 1 into 8 is how much? 8. I can add it together. My job is much easier now.
Yeah.
800 plus 80 plus 80 plus 8. Adding is much easier compared to multiplication, obviously. So it becomes 800 plus 80, 880 plus 80, 960 plus 8, 968. I'm sure you guys will have a better way to add them, but I'm just saying. Here, using distributive property, I could solve a bigger problem in an easier way. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
You are pleased with me? Okay. Now, let's look at one more problem and then we will move on. Let's see if I say multiply 149 with 15. This one looks troublesome, right? Because you guys have not memorized the table of 15 and multiplying 2 digits will take some time. I'm saying no big deal. You can say 149 is nothing but 150 minus 1.
Oh,
100 plus 50 minus 1. That is how you get 149, isn't it? Aditya, am I making sense here? I had 149 to be multiplied with 15. I am using distributive method for solving it. Yeah?
yeah.
So 149 I can write as 150 minus 1. So 100 plus 50 minus 1. Yeah? Is that okay? And then I have 15. So I will put 15 here. See how I am going to use distributive property. So this becomes 100 into 15 into 15. Then 50 into 15. Then minus 1 into 15. This is going to be a much easier calculation, right? 100 to 15 is nothing but 1500. 50 into 15 will be how much?
15 into 15.
So, okay, here's the thing. If you are multiplying let's say 20 into 18, okay? What you can do is, you can just multiply 2 with 18 and then put a 0 at the end and you should be fine. So here, 2 into 10, that's what it is, okay, into 18. So you multiply 18 and 2 together, whatever you get, you put a 0 at the end. Yeah? Confusing. So this is multiplication of 10 scenario. If let's say if I have to multiply 15980, not 15987 with 10, what do I do? Do I multiply?
No, just add a 0 at the end.
I just add a 0 at the end. This becomes 15987, the number, and then I add 1 0, I put a 0 here. That's it.
So it's 15,000.
No, don't go there. Let's not do it. If I had 2694 to be multiplied with 100, what do?
Add 2 zeros at the end.
I will just write this number 2694 and add 2 zeros. That's it, right?
Yes,
I see a lot of confused faces right now. Anahita, are you with me, beta? It makes sense, right? Yeah. So on the same lines, if let's say somebody says multiply 4097
4097 or let's say 4097, 4097 with the 50. Okay? You have to always look at this multiplication as 50 is nothing but 5 into 10. Yeah? I will keep 10 in my side pocket.
Because multiplying number with 10 is very easy. I just have to add a 0. I will keep 10 in my side pocket, okay? Here I will multiply this thing with 5. And I will multiply this. This will give me 5 7 35, 5 9 45 plus 3 48. I mean, you guys know how to multiply it, so I am just doing it quickly. 4097 with a 5. 5 7 35, 3 carry forward, 4 9 5. 5 9 45 plus 3 48. 4 carry forward, there is 0, 9 5. 5 times 0 0 plus 4, 4. 5 times 4 is 20. So you multiply this number with a 5 and then you got this value. Now you still have a 10 to be multiplied with. You just add a 0 here. Confusing? Confusing or not confusing?
No.
Okay. No, let other things also say something. Okay. Let's take another example. Let's say I have 421 to be multiplied by 30. Can somebody tell me how would you go about it? Nehit? Can you tell me if I have to multiply 421 with 30, how do I go about it? Just tell me the approach, don't give me the answer. Tell me how will you do it? Or a ninth term. Yeah.
I would use partial products.
No. I am not that intelligent. You have to just tell me numbers. How will you do it?
I multiply 421 first.
No, so I am saying I don't want to multiply it with 30. I am trying to find an easier way to multiply it. Yeah.
First, you put the 3 as you raise it 0 and times it and like that.
Okay. Okay. Let's see what Anahita has to say. Yes.
I move the 0 that is multiplied 421.
Okay. If I have a situation like this, what I will do is, I will further split this. Okay, 30 I will say 3 into 10. Okay. So when I have something like this, 10 and 100 and 1000, those are things that I want to keep in my pocket always. Okay. So whenever I have an opportunity, 30 I can make it 3 into 10. I'll keep 10 in my pocket. And then what I'm having is 421 multiplied by 3. Okay? Now you can use whatever method you want to use. You can do a straight multiplication, or you say, okay, 400 plus 20 plus 1 multiplied by 3. And I'm keeping 10 in my back pocket still. So it will become 400 into 3 plus 20 into 3 plus 1 into 3. This whole thing is getting multiplied by 10 at the end. Now 400 into 3 gives me 1200. 1200 plus 20 into 3 gives me 60. Okay. Plus 1 into 3 gives me 3. Whatever I have, that is to be multiplied by 10. Right? So these are some of the easier techniques. I know it might not be sounding easier, but you have to make it easy. So let's do one thing. Let me give you guys one simple problem that I want you to solve and see, are you guys able to do that in a playful way, or you guys are getting stressed out? One, 2, 3, 1 multiplied by 400. Let's see who can do it real quick. And apart from just doing it, I'm more interested in hearing how you are doing it. Everybody is trying, right? Sri Pooja is Suhina. Yes, right there.
Is it 1, 2, 3, 1, 5, 4?
Yes. Is everybody trying? So, Sri Pooja is nobody else but Suhina, correct? Or is that Sami? Reyans, are you trying with her? Some of the kids have been muted. Yes, Reyans. Reyans? Yeah, tell me.
Answer 49200.
492.
400.
Okay. Okay, I'll come to you to understand what was your approach. Okay, let's hear everybody's answer first. Yes.
4093.
Just tell me the numbers. I'm not interested in the actual value. Just say 492, 400, what was it? Just read the numbers for me.
493 400.
493, 400. Okay. What is your answer, Asher? Okay, 49240. Okay. How about you, Alayka?
492
Okay. How about you, Suhina? Okay. So I got two answers, 492400 and 493400. Okay. Now, yep, Suhina's work. Okay. Now, I want Anahita or Suhina to explain that. How did you get that answer? Let's hear Anahita and then we'll hear Suhina also. Okay? Yes, Suhina, what was your approach? Okay. Now, yeah, Aditi, tell me that. Little louder, better. What is that answer? 492 or 3? Okay. So almost everybody got 492400. And as I keep saying that I don't care about the answer, I'll say one more time. And that's why I was asking, how did you guys get the answer? I heard Anahita and Suhina say that they did 1231 into 4 and then they put a 0. Again, if I break this down the same way like Anahita and Suhina did, I'll probably take the same approach. So I'll say 1231 multiplied by 400. 400 is nothing but 4 into 100. Because I have extra affinity for this kind of numbers. Be it 10, be it 100, be it 1000, be it 10,000, be it 100,000. When I have 1 and then numbers, I like these kind of numbers more. Because that makes my calculation much easier. So, same thing we did. We had 400, we said 4 into 100. 400 is 4 into 100. So 4 into 100. Now we are keeping this 100 in our back pocket. And we are first multiplying these numbers. Rudraj here. So when I multiply 1231 with 4, we can get the answer by simple multiplication like this. 1231 into 4. 4 1 is 4. 4 3 is 12. 1 carry forward. 4 2 is 8 plus 1 9. And 4 1 is 4. 4924. What we got was 4924. And then this 100 is still in place. So when I multiply with 100, 5 into 100 gives me 500. 6 into 100 gives me 600. 7 into 100 gives me 700. Meaning 7 into 100. I'm just adding 2 zeros.
Same way, 4924 into 100 gives me 4924 and then 2 zeros. Rudraksh, this is the answer. Little different from what I heard. Okay? Just check one more time. And that's okay. Whenever you have a different answer, review it. Yeah? Now, in this whole thing, one approach was when you multiply it, or you can use the distributive property if you see merit in that, if you see a chance for doing it. Let's say we got one.
Just 1 second.
So that's why I asked you guys not to move. Did I not? No, don't argue with me. You sit on the chair first. Go sit there. I don't want you to get your hands hurt one more time. And when you're sitting in a place, be as stable as you can. Because if you get hurt, you already have problem with one hand. Do you want to get problem with other hand also? No, right? Don't do that. You have to be very stable. Okay? Now, so I have to play the role of a teacher and I have to play the role of a guardian also. Otherwise, kids will keep on hurting themselves. Here, now, when I have 1231 into 4, when I have to do this calculation, 100 I am keeping in my back pocket. I can do simple multiplication or I can use the distributive method. Okay? Here, everybody, Rudraksh here. So when I have this 1231, I can say, okay, this is 1000 plus 200 plus 30 plus 1. I just split this based on the place value and I can multiply this by 4. So I can say 4 into 1000 plus 4 into 200 plus, I am putting them in the bracket so that you don't get confused, 4 into 30 plus 4 into 1. So you can use this method if this is easier, which is called distributive method, or you can use normal multiplication, whichever way it works for you guys. But the thumb rule is, it just gives you another option to make your calculation easier. You will not deal with this kind of big numbers always. It's simple, right? Somebody says 16 into 5. If you don't remember the table of 16, you will say, okay, fine, 16 is nothing but 10 plus 6 into 5. Which means 10 into 5 plus 6 into 5. 10 to 5 is 50, 6 to 5 is 30. You got it? Yeah? So this is the basic reason why we use distributive method. Yeah? Is everybody clear? Is somebody tired? No? Not tired. Yeah?
If you multiply in this form, will it still be distributed property
Which form?
in standard form?
No, this is not distributive, right? So, see, again, simple thing you have to remember. When you are multiplying, let's say, let's peel up the onion a little bit. I don't know who all loves peeling of the onion because it makes you cry sometimes. But let's look at it. If you are trying to multiply 121, let's say, with 6, let's understand the core of it, right? What is distributive property actually? If you are trying to multiply this number with this, what are you talking about? If you look at this number, you are talking about 100, because that's a 100th place. Then you are talking about 20, or 2 into 10, 2 tenths, and then you are talking about 1 1. And then you are multiplying with 6, meaning you are multiplying 6 with 1 1, you are multiplying 6 with 2 tenths, and you are multiplying 6 with 100. Yeah? So, actually, when you are doing simple multiplication also, you are taking distributive property also into account. Just that you are not noticing it. But actually you are doing that. You are multiplying first with the unit, then you are multiplying with the tens, then you are multiplying with the 100. You are just doing it in one go and it looks that okay, you know the distributive property, but in the code, you still have distributive property working for you. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Everybody, Riyans, Aditi,
Yes, sir.
Sandy, Anahita. So these are different.
Plus 4.
different flavors that we interpret, but the actual core of calculation remains the same. The building block is the unit place, the place value thing only. If you are looking at 5,895, we are looking at 5,800, 9 tens and 5 units. If you are multiplying that with something, you are doing the multiplying every breakdown. You are multiplying 6 with the 5 units, you are multiplying 6 with the 9 tens, you are multiplying 6 with 8 hundreds, and you are multiplying 6 with 5 thousands. Okay? Just that your calculation doesn't make you believe so, but in the core, in the center of the calculation, that is how it is happening. Is it making sense? Now we have beaten this distributive property to death to some extent. Right? Now distributive property is dead. Let's go to another property and we'll try killing that property also. That is called cumulative property. What is cumulative property? Can somebody explain that to me real quick? In simple terms. And don't assume that your teacher is intelligent, okay?
What was the property name?
Cumulative property. Cumulative property.
I don't know.
Okay. Anybody remembers, recalls? You guys will laugh at me if I try explaining that to you. And I want you guys to laugh. That's why I will explain. Are these same?
Yes.
15 into 12 or 12 into 15, are they same?
Yes.
They will be the same. 4 into 3 or 3 into 4, they will be the same. Meaning when you exchange the position in multiplication, the value remains the same, and that property is called known as cumulative property. So that's why I was saying you guys will laugh at me when I say what is a cumulative property. It's the same thing that we all know. 5 into 2 is same as 2 into 5. Yeah? Do you want to kill that property further or this is enough?
This is enough.
This is enough? Okay, let's move on. So we talked about distributive property and we talked about cumulative property. Let's move on to the next concept, that is nothing but Now, let's go to the next one, which is called, we are trying to understand fractions, factors, multiples and patterns. Is there anybody in the class who doesn't know what is fraction?
Fractions are my best friend. And how do you know?
Fractions are my best friend. That is one definition of a fraction. Okay?
So how do
Okay. No, I'm saying, is there anybody in the class who doesn't know what is a fraction? Nobody, right? In simplest form, if you say fraction, you're talking about something being divided by something. That is called fraction. Fraction. Now, look at the English part of it. Fraction of a dollar. A dollar is divided among 5 kids or 5 people. That's why it's called fraction of a dollar. Not the whole dollar. Fraction of a dollar. That's why this is given a term fraction. Everybody knows about it. We have talked about fraction, addition, multiplication, division in the previous classes, and we'll come back to that again, but not today. We just wanted to make sure that we have no doubt with respect to what is a fraction. That's clear, right? Everybody is clear?
Yes,
Right?
sir.
Now, what is a multiple? What do you mean by multiple? Can somebody explain that to me? What is a multiple? Yep, yeah, Ananta, you want to say something? Go ahead, Doctor. When you multiply a number with something and you get something else, that something else is called the multiple of something. Yes, Sohina? Oh no, not again. Okay, now, so now you can describe that in your word better. No, you can describe in your word better. That was my definition and the old man's definition, okay? Go ahead. Right. And while we are talking about it, it is just a refresher for us. We are just trying to make sure that when we hear a term, multiple, right? See, everybody in the class is very clear about what is a fraction, what is a multiple. But when it comes to describing it, imagine a situation when you have to teach somebody, a much smaller kid compared to you guys, and he or she comes to you and say, okay, what is a multiple, Didi? What will you say? Multiple, it's an interesting one, right? We have to get into the habit of explaining things to people in a way that people can follow it. We'll say, okay, fine. Do you know table of 2? Yes, I do. Okay, 2 times 3 is what? 6. Fine. So, when you multiply 2 with a number 3, you are getting 6. So, 6 is called multiple of 2. Because 2 is multiplied with something to get a 6. Or you can say 6 is a multiple of 3 also. 3 is getting multiplied by 2 to get a 6. Right? So this is what a multiple means. And that is why you can call it a multiple or a multiplier. Whatever way you are comfortable. So you will say 6 is a multiplier of 3 or 6 is a multiplier of 2. Because when you multiply 3 with something, you get a 6. And when you multiply 2 with something, you get a 6. Make sense? And that is why when we talked about LCM, what we were talking about? We were talking about lowest common multiplier. Now look at this, 6. 6 is a multiplier of 3 and 6 is a multiplier of 2. Is this a multiplier of 2 and 3 both? Yes, it is. So that's why when we try finding all LCM, it says LCM stands for lowest common multiplier. Meaning, when you are talking about 2 or more numbers, LCM of 2 or more numbers, LCM is that number, that's the smallest number, that is the multiplier of all the numbers that you are talking about. Yeah? Relatable, right? Conceptually? Yeah? Aditi, okay? Shiva Kesava, okay? Okay, so we kind of know about what is a fraction, what is a multiple or a multiplier. We know what do we know? What is a fraction? Okay, now let's look at the next thing that is called pattern. Okay, before we go to patterns, let's look at the factors. What is a factor? What do you mean by factor? Nihit or Ananya or Aditya, can somebody explain that to me? I'll come to you, Sohina. I'm just trying to give everybody some chance. Or Ashar. What do you mean by factor? And I guarantee you guys, factor is something that is like a ghost that will stay with you till you go to college, okay? So that's why I'm stressing on that. Yes. Okay. Let's go to Sohina and then I'll come to Anahita also. Yes, Sohina, tell me what is factor. Don't tell me factor is a ghost. Okay. Let's see how Anahita would describe that story to me. Yes, Anahita. Okay? Let's see what Aditi has to say.
A factor is that is one of the multiplication factors to like a consider from a number.
Okay.
Prime numbers can be odd or even. Well, the composite numbers can also be odd or even. Well, like for example, it's like goes 6 times 6 is 36. 1 times 36. That's called a composite number. Like
Let's take two factors. I'm more interested in knowing about the factors right now. So your answer should be pretty much two factors. See what Riyans is doing. When we went to prime numbers, he started looking at the wall, counting flowers on the wall. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Aditya, you want to say something about factors? Okay. All right. Yeah. So here is my very lame definition of a factor. Okay? And that might be easy to remember. That's why. Okay. So factors are the reasons for something to happen. What is the factor behind this room being very hot? Because outside is very hot, very high. There is no fan in the room. There is no AC in the room. That's why it is hot. Don't focus on hot. I have put an AC for you already, and you have fallen once. Just try to get close to AC. Don't do that. Now coming back to when you say factor, factors to me are the constituents of something that makes something. Okay. Now let's go back to the same thing. 2 times 3 is 6. So 3 and 2 are the factors of 6. Meaning 2 and 3 make 6. I can also write 6 as 1 into 6. So 1 and 6 are also the factors of 6. So the things that make that number are the factors. Right? Let's say if I say, what are the factors of 14? You will say, okay, what are the factors of 14? What are the numbers that make 14? Yes?
2 times 7.
So the way you will break it down is, okay, 1 into 14 is 14, 2 into 7 is 14. So what are the factors here that can make 14? 1, 2, 7 and 14. They are the factors. So any factor of a number is nothing, or factors of a number are those numbers that make that number. Yeah? Now if I say, what are the factors of 30? You will be tempted to say, okay, 10 and 3. No, that is not the case. Factors of 30 are all those numbers that make 30. So now let's look at what are the options. 1 into 30 is one option, 2 into 15 is another option, 10 into 3 is third option, and I think that's it. So what are the factors? 1, 2, 3, 10, 15 and 30 are the factors of 30. Yeah? So you have to take into account all those possible numbers that can make that number. And those are called the factors. These are the ingredients, right? When you're trying to make cake, or when you're trying to make let's say a curry, you have to know what are the spices, what are the ingredients that will make that curry or the cake. These are the ingredients that can make this. Okay? One or all of them. Okay? When I'm using 15, I might not need 3. 15 and 2 is enough to make 30. But 15 is one of the factors, 2 is another factor, 30 is another factor. And which combination works, that we can figure out always. Yeah? Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it's almost time. There's one more thing that we wanted to learn, that is called pattern.
What?
Pattern is like doing fortune telling. Let me give you guys one example and then I will let you guys know. If I have, let's say, 3, 6, 9, 12 and
I kept this one blank. What is the next number?
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute is not a number. 3, 6, 9, 12. And I don't know what is the next number. Yeah, Sanvi. I'm sorry?
I know.
15. About this thing? So this, by looking at this number, you can make a pattern. I mean, looking at this pattern, you can figure out what could be the next number. If I say 10, 30, 50, and kept it blank, what could be the next number? So you now say it loud. Yeah, or an item, whoever. 7. Yeah, it's 70. Because you can see the pattern, how the numbers are changing, what is the difference between two consecutive numbers, and based on that you can figure it out. 20 is the difference, so you'll use that. So this is the basic understanding of pattern. We'll stop here. I'll let you guys go and talk to you again on coming Saturday.